Beast or beauty? What's the difference? Beast are, it happens. A heart of a beast happens when we make a bad decision. And a beautiful heart happens when we make a good decision. And so Genesis first, third, and sixth chapter explains the process of going from the heart of a man made in God's image, to that one that makes a bad decision like what happened in the garden. And so Genesis, the first chapter, it starts out talking about how man was made in God's image. It groups the male and female, man having dominion, into one category. And it talks about the consumption, what man is able to consume. It says the fruits of the trees and the herbs. Then it talks about the beast. It talks about the beast of the field, the cattle, the birds of the air, and the creeping things. And then it says that they consume herbs. Why is the consumption part important? Because over in the New Testament, when a beast is mentioned, if it's not mentioned amongst a group like beast, it's mentioned by its consumption, like the man over in Romans, the 14th chapter, that was judging the other man because he was eating from everything, and the man that was eating just from the herbs had itself under a limitation. That man is considered as being a man in the beast category. Why? Because he's judging the other person. And when we judge another person and say that this decision over here is a good decision or the right decision, and this bad one is the wrong decision, we put ourselves in the place of God. So you go back over to Genesis, you can see that beast process coming into play. And what you're going to be able to take away, you're going to be able to take away the heart of a beast and what's a beautiful heart. So we described Genesis 1, and so now Genesis 3, the fall of man. What happened when the fall of man? As we went over before, we have Adam being called. It says God called Adam and commanded him. What did he command him? When he commanded him, he commanded him what to eat of, what tree to eat of. So he showed him what's a good decision. He said, don't eat of this tree over here, the good with the good and the bad, because when you eat that, you shall surely die. So he showed him a good decision, a good choice, and a bad choice. So when Adam got over to Genesis 3 with the woman, Adam was no longer Adam. Adam was no longer that man that God called when God called Adam and commanded him. When Adam was in the garden with Eve, it says when she partook of the tree and did eat, it says she also gave to her husband with her, and he did eat. That word husband means man. That man that was in the garden with her was the same man that when it talks about shall a man leave his mother and father. Adam turned back into that man that was with his mother and father. How do I know that? The reason that's said is because Genesis, when Adam was looking for a helpmeet, and the Lord said it's not good that man be alone, he took the man's rib and made a woman. And so what did Adam call him? Adam said, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. Why? Because she was taken out of man. And so the woman's name, it's in the Hebrew, woman in the Hebrew is two words. First part of that word woman means man. It means but it means a person that's under authority. And the second part means that man that was described with his mother and his father, that man leaving his mother and father. So when Adam was in the garden, he was that part that was taken out of him. He went and reverted back to a man being under direction and authority like he was with his mother and father. And so that was a bad choice because he disobeyed what the Lord commanded him. He disobeyed his calling. And so that started the process of a beast heart. That was the incubation period. And so you can see it more full blown when the Lord said he was going to wipe out humanity. He said he was going to wipe out humanity in Genesis 6 when men began to multiply on the earth. And the sons of God chose wives from the daughters of men. Why? Because they were beautiful. They made a bad choice. And you might be thinking, well, the Lord destroyed the earth just because, you can put that word with it, just because the sons of God chose beautiful wives from the daughters of men. It never mentions the daughters of God. Those were daughters of men. And so the Lord called that wickedness, that bad choice, because the sons of God, getting an understanding of a sons of God is a son of God is led by the Spirit of God. And if you look at the next verse in Genesis 6, the Lord said that his spirit shall not always strive. That word strive means judge. Always judge, that means perpetually, continually judge for man. Why? Because he is also flesh. So that tells you the choices that the sons of God were making. They were making choices like Adam did, according to the flesh, not according to what God had commanded them to. So what did God do? God put them in the category as a beast. The verses, I think it's the 4th, 5th, and 6th verse, God grouped mankind in the same category as beasts. He said to comfort himself, he said he will destroy earth, he will destroy mankind, beasts, fowl of the air, and creeping things. In Genesis 1, they was all grouped in their own category. And so, but he said, Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So what's the difference between grace and these sons of God that were choosing daughters of men because of their external appearance? They were making choices according to the flesh, and it was according to an outward appearance, so they wasn't being led as sons of God. That's called wickedness, and it's called having a heart of a beast. What's a beautiful heart? It's a heart full of grace. It's a heart like when God sent Samuel to anoint David as king, that's a calling, to anoint him, he said, don't look on the outward appearance because God looks at the heart. And so what's beautiful? A beautiful heart is a good heart. That's a heart that makes good choices according to your calling. A bad heart is like the heart that's described over in Genesis 3, disregarding the commandment of the Lord. You can also see it over in Luke, the 4th chapter, Jesus being led by the Spirit of God. When the devil was tempting him as the Son of God, he had tried to get him to look at a holy appearance on the external side. So there you go. You have what a beautiful heart looks like. Is you're operating under the grace that's on your life, which is your calling. And then you have a bad heart, which is disregarding the call of life, the call of God on your life.